Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on Betwist. It's a word finding game, and we're closing in on the end of it, at least for this version. I'd like to get it a releasable version, and one of the things we want to do is enforce when the game is over. I'm not quite sure what we want to happen, but we want to make something happen. Okay, so don't allow entering new words in review mode, but clear selection. All right, let's run. So we have the notion of being in either play mode or review mode, and the thing that triggers you going from one to the other is if you say show me all the words the system found, you're not playing anymore, at least not by the rules of this game. We've talked about some variations, but if the system shows you the answers, you know, it's not really quite the same as you finding them yourself. So we'd like to have that trigger something different. And I think there's a few ways you could go. One is you could just not worry about it. In the future, I'd like to do something like a leaderboard sort of thing, or your last 10 scores or your best 10 scores or something like that. And we don't have that yet. So all we do is show your score. So one thing we could do is not let you get score credit for using a game again. Okay, so it's like, well, that's something. Okay, so let's find a word. We'll enter that. And then, I don't know, what can we get? Coven? Okay, so if we show our game so far, you know, we're still entering words. All right, now if I say show me, I say ends the game, but you can't tell. Flauntiest. Okay, falconets maybe, balconets maybe, countable, sure. Tentative, visitable. Stylobate, no. Albertize, no. Atlets, no. I don't have any idea. Okay, but if I go back here, I could see if I could find some others. Oh, there's cones. Okay, and my score went up, and I'm on the list, and I'm added in, and nothing seems different except that I'm officially game over. Okay, so, well, I mean, that's probably the minimal acceptable thing. It's like, you know, you added more words. It's on you. Okay. Balconets, you know, entering that. It's a good long word, but I didn't find it. I was told it was there. Okay. I mean, I found where it was, but given there's only one B on the board and only one A connected to it and all that, I don't think I'm working too hard. Okay, so one thing is we could, well, I think a thing we could do would be lock down the score and not let you get credit for more words. I don't really care if you add them. Hey, Tukes, great. Glad you got it, and glad you find it's working okay. Just out of curiosity, what device are you running it on, or what version and that sort of thing? But good to see you both here. All right. So I think doing something to, well, I could put a little message down here that says game over, or up here, game over. I mean, that would be fine. I think that would be worthwhile. Okay, iPhone 16, 8.1, 18.1. Okay, so yeah, you're pretty up to date there. I think a little. Mine unfortunately can't run in iOS 18, so I have to do some work on that. Okay. Wow, this one I'm seeing all kinds of words. But yeah, the game was over. Okay, so right. One thing we could do would be stop allowing new words. Don't score words after game over. Put up a message. Show a game over message. Yeah. I mean, that would be kind of a nice minimum thing. If you're in this state, show game over. And even if I don't do the others, it's like you're in game over. Don't mess with it. All right, let's do that first then. That seems fairly straightforward. I often say that, and sometimes it's even true. All right, so our message. Well, I don't know where I should put the message. If the normal message would be okay, but I think we'd have to really go out of our way to make sure nobody overwrites it. Now maybe, well, there's ways to do this, and some are better than others. All right, one is we could reset submit as in progress, and that blocks you from adding any more words. That's kind of promising. Submit only clears the board. Yeah, I do want you to be able to see it, because I think, I don't know, part of the charm for me is like I see it says, oh, Balconets was in there, and then I can go look around and see what I have to do to find it, and, try and convince myself whether I could have found it or not. Like I might have been able to find Falcon, but I don't use the word falconets enough to make me find that, But I think there's something about being able to look at the board afterwards, and put these words in, I would only do a few, I think, but those longest words like, oh my, what is that? Balcone, that's 9 letters, that's better than my average. Yeah, submit never validate. Oh, that's true too. Okay, well, let's. Well, we got the state. Where's that state? I think game, maybe? Yeah, mode. Okay, and then somewhere we have the game over button, right? Or the show message, show system answers thing. I may have to go find what that button does. Oh. That's the rotates down here. Answer button, new game. That's not the button I want. Okay, I do want answers detail view. Has the mode. Okay. So okay, well, if mode is play VStack, show me. Okay, oh, right. Yeah, so you either show it or not. Okay, so the button's no longer there. And the mode is changed. So, I mean, this button action on here, what does he do? Word system found. That's the display. Where's the button? Show me. Oh, he flips the mode to review. Okay, I guess. Yeah, but I think our okay, never quite as easy as I want, is it? our submit select also looks at submit in progress. So that would block you from selecting anything. And that's probably okay. All right. Well, I mean, the way to do this, a way to do this anyway, is detect the mode and do something about that. So on change of game.mode now, and I forget, it's weird. It's like, I think it's original value, new value. Let's double check that, because initial says do it the first time. I don't think we need that. Action escaping VV. Old new. Okay. Old new in. Well, I don't really care about old. Okay. If the mode is if it's play, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to return. But otherwise, it's in review. Well, maybe I should do switch. Okay, so if it's review, I think what we're saying is the submit in progress should change to true, which is a little bit overloading. And the message, which I think is on game, it's in progress view, game.message, yeah. Game.message equals game over. Okay. So we're monitoring the mode. If we switch into review mode, we're going to block new submissions and change the message. Okay. And the board will be the same, but you won't be able to create new words, which I think is acceptable. I mean, I can move my finger over the words if I want to spell them out, if I think they're in there, you know. So what do we got? I like that other one better. Okay, there's gear. Okay, let's find, well, let's just put one in, yeah. Gear. Okay. Show me. Game over. Okay. I mean, I could see. Yeah, I'm saying it's okay if I can't locate words. Let me find one that's a little shorter. Aerate. Okay. I can find it. A-E-R-A. No. A-E-R-A-T-E. You know, I don't necessarily have to, yeah, I could let you mark them still. I mean, although this way I don't have to worry you're going to enter it. I think I'm okay with this. I'll let you take a peek at the board and try and find it. Exaggerates. E-X-A-G-G-E A-G-G-E-R-A-T-E-S. Nice. But, I just don't know if something else should. I don't know if something should dim or pop out or what. I mean, like I could put a little white rectangle around this that only shows up when the game is over, you know, just to kind of highlight the scores a little bit. I could hide found words. I don't know. Well, I don't think we did anything that changes the tests per se. What did I do here? Don't allow any new words. Okay. Don't score words, right? I guess what I did with extra is don't allow selecting in review mode. Does the submit button change the message? It should not, but let's find out. Let the test run. Okay. All passed. Good. Everybody should be going through the same thing. I can't enter anything. Well, once I've... Okay, let's do this. Oh, I'll enter one word. Do more. Show me. Stinkhorn. Auction. Okay. And I can't select letters. Double clicking doesn't mean anything. Clicking on this just blinks. Nothing there. Yeah, so it's not doing anything any of these ways. I probably can still do this. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll live with it like this. I mean, I think you could make an argument for allowing you to go back and reselect words that do, but I think, you know, I could always bounce over here and say, oh, concoction. You know, I'm going to have to find that somewhere. Now, I honestly don't see it. Wait a minute. Was it concoction? Wait. Something seems very wrong, doesn't it? That's the only C-O-N, and that's the only O. I do believe it's letting you do stuff again. I think it's doing C-O-N-C-O-C-T-I. Wait a minute. I don't even see how it gets back T-I. Oh, there it is. T-I-O-N. It is. Wow. Major bug. Oh. Huh. Okay. Well, that's not allowed. Okay. Well, this is Defect. System found words reuse letters but shouldn't. Okay. Yeah, I think this will be good enough. And let's investigate this defect. All right. So show game over. Don't allow new words. Don't allow selection. Don't score words. Okay. So handle game over. No more selection or new words. Okay. And okay, let's do that. The thing I didn't do, I don't think. All right, let's verify. We're still running. Game over. New game should put everything back. Oh no. That state is part of content view. Maybe this needs to be true. If you're changing back into play mode. Or, oh, Xcode, why are you doing this to me? Ugh. Okay. Let's try that again. There it goes. No? Okay, so Pitten? No, how about fitten? Kind of an old word. I don't know if they still use it in the dictionary. Oh, odd. Okay. F-I-T-T-E-D. That's funny it's not there. I mean, it's a normal word around here. If it's fitten, or if it's not fitten, it's not appropriate. Okay, so I got all those words. And can't enter things, but if I do new game... Oh, no QUs. And no selection. Maybe this is not good. Oh, how about if I reset that instead of resetting it, setting it twice? And I think just to be symmetric, okay. New game, reset set. Ugh. Yeah, it's only on the mode change, so when it's get a new game. HANT. Okay, I'm back to normal. All right. And show me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I've seen is even, I don't know. It's like I see the stuff I'm getting in Xcode now, and it's clearly AI triggered. And sometimes the thing is amazingly right, and then sometimes it's amazingly wrong, and then sometimes it's subtly wrong. And I'm really worried about the subtly wrong stuff. It's even code completion. This has been an error people have made for 10 or 20 years or whatever, how long they've had it. It's very easy to take code completion and get the wrong one. And actually, I got an email from my sister-in-law today to somebody else and Bill, and she had the wrong bill. And it's like she's like, I was looking at it, I knew I saw the right one. Yeah. Hey, Rick. Welcome back. I guess the letters are random, but they're based on word frequencies. I'm still not happy. I mean, it's on my list to work better. Get a better list of letters, because I don't know, if I see a 4-letter boggle board, I can almost always find a number of words in it. I see our boards with even more, and I can't find it because it's just kind of not so good. I don't know why, but apparently the frequencies aren't enough to do it. And I think maybe you'd need like a little bit. I don't know, if you did pairs, you might get something a little better. I'm going to try the approach sort of like Boggle takes, to put multiple letters. Choose, they have multiple letters on a die, and one of those 6 will show up. And I think they've done things like, let's put 4 E's on one dice so you don't get a board with all E's on it, CEO says AI can write and run codes, so can after that analyze it like a closed loop. I don't know. I'm call me skeptical. Yeah, I mean, if you like, I don't trust somebody that's, I don't know, a system that claims to have analyzed it, solved it, and tested it. Like, do I still know if it works or not? I don't know. I mean, when you see how much errors people make just between, like, I mean, in a waterfall process, you got one person doing analysis, handing stuff over, and then when the users get it, they're like, what is this? It's pretty, I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical. And plus, the stuff is trained, and it's repeating the essence of what it's trained in some sense. And yet, it's like, is the average code out there it's trained on very good or not? I don't know if it's good enough. And I also think there's a problem with the LLMs. It's kind of like, if you've got a stream and you take water in, and then if you let it go downstream with, after you've processed whatever, and it's your waste, like, somebody else is dealing with the problem. But if you put your outlet back above your stream, well, if you're mutilating this water and making it worse, you've raised the concentration of salt to 2%. Well, it's going to come around the loop again and again and again, and there's going to be, you're going to feed back on your own crap, basically. And I think, given how much AI generated words I'm seeing on the internet, I think the training stuff is getting mutilated. And it's not clear to me that if they needed a factor of 10 more words to train on, that they could get them in a good way. The other thing on the code side, I don't think you can really quite do it on just a kind of model of the text of something without a model of a deeper model. I mean, it's like I just don't quite see it there. I may be wrong. I'm an old guy. We're getting there. And, there will be stuff. I mean, I appreciate what Xcode is doing sometimes. When it gets it right, it's great. But yeah. Well, unfortunately, it is a situation where the output goes as an input, and you can't train on your own output, right? And yet you're training on all the outputs spat out by other AIs. It's not going to be pretty. I saw one of these, a linguistic site that's shut down the other day because they're finding the data is so contaminated they can't really properly analyze. They were trying to understand what frequency people said certain things or something, and it's just not bearable now. The data got too crappy. And, yeah, there is a bias in that CEO. He's obviously going to make more money if he hypes it up. And that doesn't mean it's getting better enough. I don't know. The reports I hear from other people are definitely mixed bags. I'm also not so happy with the environmental cost to get what we got from it so far seems awfully high. And I have worries about that as well, but we'll see where it all goes. I mean, there's some stuff that's great. I mean, I use Siri when I'm, want to give myself a reminder message or something, and most of the time it does okay. It was driving me nuts the other day because I was trying to tell it. I had this recording somebody made for me of their radio show, and I wanted to say, at 61 minutes, 30 seconds, here's this song on episode 21123. And Siri was just totally convinced I was trying to set an appointment for myself in the past and all this stuff. And it's like, but when it works, it's great. I don't know. I mean, I've looked at other people's crappy code a lot in my career, working as a trainer and coach and all that sort of thing. Trying to make sense of pretty bad code is pretty tough. And I saw enough of it that I'm sure there's a lot of code being trained on pretty bad code. And I don't know. It's okay. Somebody's streaming an Xcode. Copilot's not good with Swift testing framework. Yeah, right. Because there's not enough data to train it on it, and so it assumes some other context and goes. Yeah, I don't know, but I haven't gone out of my way to pull it in for stuff, but lots of stuff seems to be adding it, and I can't say I'm finding it's making most of it better. But like I said, I'm using Siri, and I know some of the technologies in there. All right, let's see. So I think we're okay now for that, but this reusing thing is bad. So if your algorithm is not good in your AI or your code, things are in trouble. All right, I thought we had taken this into account. Okay, let's see. Where is that? Okay, so let's see. This is all game over. Do all that. Okay. The system found words it shouldn't. Well, that's one thing that does is explains how it finds so many words, doesn't it? I just make them up. Now, I guess it's going to be ones where the letters repeat. Well, this one didn't find a lot of words, really. Huh. Okay, tsetse, like the fly. T-Z, T-Z-E. Okay, can I get back to a T? T-Z-E-T-Z. Yeah, I think you may have cheated again there. T-Z-E. There's no other T's to get to. T-Z. There's no other E's to get to. Or if you started with this one, T-Z-E, you can't get to a T. And if you start with this one, you can't get to an E. Okay. All right, well. Which is even more interesting. Like, this is a really bad board because this is the words. I mean, it's a fair bit of words. Some of them are real, but this is using the duplicates, and it's only got, 2-3 pages of those. Okay. All right. Well, let's dig in. Okay. Yeah, I mean that. I think that must be what it is, but I thought we did that. It's not try builder. It's in game. Yeah. Okay. And this is this recursive function. We had something open neighbors. Yeah, this was supposed to find us. Oh. Yeah, I'll bet you. I'll bet you when we place these, we don't mark them, we don't change them. So I convinced myself it was okay. All right. So let's make a test. Now, I do think I do have a worry that game is really kind of overloaded with things. Not that I don't. That has nothing to do with this problem. It's just me observing that the finding of all answers is kind of its own thing. It's got several methods here to do that, and they don't really. I mean, they're dealing with sets of strings, sets of locations, selections. Okay. But I'm guessing we're not changing the selection somewhere. There's selection location. Well, I don't know. Okay, let's make up a test though. Let's see if I can find where we're testing prefix words. Okay, finds all answers. Yeah. Let's take this. I think we can do a small board for starters. Okay, that's finding all the answers. Okay. This is test doesn't reuse letters in finding all answers. Okay, and let's do T Z E D. Okay, and then it's got Z, and I think it's gonna find. Let's let tsetse be in their vocabulary, but it's not going to be here if it's not legal. Okay, so I expect to just find Z. I mean, he's finding 3-letter words in other tests, so I think the filtering for that is later. Test coming out. Yeah. Okay, I think this test is going to fail. I think maybe we did not update our grid. I'm not sure who keeps track of the state of those letters, but maybe we added it to the selection but didn't update the grid to reflect the selection or something like that, maybe. He passed. Wow. Huh. Okay. All right, let's run another scenario here. I don't know. This is freaky. Let's just find these words. We want one that looks like it's got the same letters a couple times. Concerts. C-O-N. And there is no other. Oh, wait, there's a C. Concerts. Okay, that's legit. Concretes, gonocytes. I don't know. Cow trees. You don't run into those every day. Know how. KNOWHOW. Okay, what? Why would this not find that? Okay, I think I want to understand how it knows these types at. All right, it does consider the selection. Okay, so that should be okay. But we say select when we're doing this, right? Well, we do this. Okay, this could be funny. Let's make sure that selection. So we have two. So you start off with the letter grid and then you extend the selection. Selection from selection. Okay, so we're building up a new selection with the locations. And if you ask, where's that type? We look at the location in that selection. Do we flip the check? Well, let's think about what he says. So, if the selection last is null, we're gonna say any location can be the first selection. Okay. Otherwise, you're giving me a selection, and I'm going to take the neighbors of the last thing in the selection. Okay. And I'm going to make a set out of them. I think he's an array now. Well, that's a little redundant then. But okay, I'm only going to keep the ones that are open or they are neighbor. Well, that seems funny. So I don't know why open should be in there. Right, because theoretically, if you're getting the neighbors, they're going to be either neighbor or taken. What is this type? Golly, I don't even remember. Okay, so first, yeah, we treat them funny. Okay, first, middle, and last are selection things. So the first thing you've selected, anything in the middle, and then the last one, they are your actual selection. Open and neighbor, I don't know who understands those. Okay, what's the type of a location? So if the location is last, we say last. If it's first, okay, so if selection.first equals location, okay. Otherwise, he's in the middle. Okay. If the last is nil, yeah, I think neighbor and open neighbor is used so we can italicize the ones that are true neighbors. So we're asking every location, given this selection, how should I draw these cells basically? And Let's start a new game. Okay, so this one is, he's the only cell selected. So he is the last, so he gets the last border, even though he's also the first. The last has priority. And now this one, the first border is white, the last one is that green. Okay, so that's the first for the one and the last for the other. And then if we keep going, now we get this kind of, I think it's a gray or maybe it's black, but there's no real interest in there. I guess, yeah, that's gray. Okay, so that's the colors for those. A cell that is a neighbor gets italicized, but Y should not be a neighbor at this point, or it's not an open neighbor. Scan looks at the letter after the first letter has been selected. Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, let's see all neighbors. Okay, so he's got the list of coordinates. He's gonna try each location. Oh, okay. So he is actively pulling locations, and we do have to filter them. So he's going to have every one of his 8 neighbors. Okay. And then some of them are going to be first, middle, or last. Like take H here, or I'm trying to get one that has everything, but you can't, because you can't. If you're the last, all you can have is either first, middle, or neighbor. Okay, so open does not seem right. For that. Open neighbors. I don't know why it's open neighbors. Okay, I'm blending the concepts, I think, is the problem. Scan only looks at neighbor letters after the first letter has been selected. Well, if the set is empty, if the selection is empty, he says you could take anything. Okay, so all locations is the whole board, which seems right. If you have an open selection, you haven't selected anything, you can click anywhere you want. So that seems okay. If it's not nil, then you have a selection, a last selection. We're going to take that, get all its physical neighbors, and then we want the open is not right. It's more like available neighbors. Okay. Oops. Let's try that again. Is what we're trying for, but I think this cannot happen. I mean, I don't think there's any harm in it, but I think it's never true. So I'm surprised we even have it there. All right, so I'm going to do this and rerun tests. Now, the only thing I see that may be funny. No, I don't think so, because we've returned all locations. We said anywhere is a valid neighbor for an empty selection for the first one. Okay, so yeah, that passed. But I think it was a clause that never did anything. I'm not sure why I added it, to be honest. It's clear I overstepped a test somewhere, because they're still passing without that clause. And I don't think it's possible. You got your neighbors. Every one of them is either going to be first, middle, last. If you're at selection.last, the only kind of neighbors you can have are first, middle, or open. First, middle, or neighbor. And we only want the neighbors. But, okay. So I think that's harmless. remove unneeded check for open values. And it may be that check was there before we put this clause in, and maybe it had some use at that point. If we, depending how we did it, yeah, it may have been a remnant of that, because we did specifically add neighbor. Oh, that's probably what it is. Originally they were opens, and then we said, oh, they can be neighbors, and then so we added the clause there to say it could be a neighbor, but didn't take into account that it was no longer possibly open in this case. So it was probably either that or this. I don't feel quite as bad, but still. All right, but I mean, focusing on available neighbors here, it's I think it's doing the right thing. It's only coming back with available cells. So that makes me wonder if the location stuff, well, okay. Let me take this set out, because I think that's redundant too, just while we're cleaning up here. Okay, well, look at all locations while that's thinking. We're taking basically 0 to n, column 0 to n, and making one for each. That seems pretty straightforward. Okay. And I think we may have returned a list at some point and now made it a set, but redundant set. Okay, those two are okay. Now, here's the tricky one. All right, so try all extensions. I don't know what that... Can you pick another letter starting a new word from scratch now? Pick another letter starting a new word from scratch. Okay, so let's do mayor. Okay, and you want me to select a few letters. F-I-R. Can I pick another letter starting a new word from scratch? Okay, so like just go over here and start a totally different word. I'm trying to find one. Higher. Okay, H-I-R. I don't think there's any conflict there. And we certainly let you do that as long as you're not the neighbor of the current cell. Yeah, if you try and restart a word when you're italic, that won't work because you'll extend the current selection. But if you don't, if you're outside that range, then you're okay. All right. Yeah, I think that works okay. All right, so try all extensions. So I think extension is in the sense of building the word longer, or making the selection longer. And where's our entry point? All answers. Okay, so we start off with an empty set result. We build an empty selection, and then we try all extensions to fill the result. And that's our all answers, and somebody can do all the answers and restrict the size, and the result.submit. Okay. I guess that's the... Where's he getting answers? All answers. Okay. Oh, he's just finding the ones you want to keep and submitting them. Yeah, that makes sense. We check if it's not a neighbor. We clear the selection, I guess. So let's make sure that's true. But I think that's implicitly true from selection. Let me get back to that. So when you're extending, you're always, well, you either started from an empty one or you're extending it with one more location. And then this is your new selection. The result of this gives you a location. So going back is just, keep the old one around and go to it, But maybe we're not doing that. That's okay. Now, I don't know if the right way to do this is to think through it. But okay, so we're going to take the result so far. We're going to take the current selection and neighbors. What are neighbors? In here, it's available neighbors for selection. Okay, which is all neighbors. Okay, all locations. Okay, so at the setup, you got an empty selection and a list of all the possible items. Okay, so to extend the current selection, we're going to look in neighbors. All right, so we got to make sure the neighbors coming in is the right neighbors when we get down here. But given these neighbors, extend your selection with this neighbor, neighboring location, and find out if the current selection, I want to know if it's a word and if it's a prefix of another word. Okay, so new selection.answer. Okay, now, all right. Okay, so if we get back something and it's not a word, we're going to try, is it a prefix of another word? So TA is not a word, but TA is a prefix for take and tail and talent and so on. All right, if it's a word, we just insert it. Okay, so that's a word we found, we'll take it. If it's a prefix, we're going to let neighbors, overloading that name, which is not so great probably. I'm going to rename this to new neighbors. New neighbors. Okay. So we'll take the selection, the neighbors for the selection. So we added a letter, and then we're going to try and keep going. Basically, we're going to keep accumulating into the result with the new selection. We have extended here, and it's new neighbors. Is it always the last letter that's selected? Last neighbor? I don't think so. Let's see. Well, I don't know that it matters to it because we're running in 1.65. We're running through all the neighbors that came in. Okay. We get the new neighbors. Oh no, that's trial extensions. Okay, so is it always the last neighbor selected for the next letter? Yeah, that's a good question. Here's selection. Did we change selection ever? We don't. Okay, so I believe what we're doing is we're starting with whatever the initial selection is. Let's say it's a T, and then we're going to find all the neighbors of this cell. we're going to be told all the neighbors of this cell. That seems a little weird to me, by the way. It seems like I should ask for it when I want it, not be told it in advance. Well, that's me trying to rewrite this function because I mean, in a way, I want to come in and say, hey, here's the results so far. Here's this selection. I want you to do whatever you can to find the remaining any cells that extend this particular selection. And I think his first step should be, well, let me find my good neighbors. No, it's definitely recursive. Whether it's right or not is another thing, but who's asking neighbors? We got to be going back to game, right, for available neighbors. Selection last, all neighbors. Type of location in selection. How does he know that? Oh, he's got selection has the grid. Okay, so selection can find it. I don't know. The thing is, I don't have a failing test yet. I'm trying to figure out how to get one. Okay, so if I've selected a T so far, and I come in and somebody's giving me all the neighbors for T that are true neighbors. So anything I selected on the way is not part of that selection. And I'm going to run through all its neighbors. One of them's an A. And I'm going to make a new selection for that neighbor. I'll take the old selection and extend it with location. And then I will ask, now this new selection I just made does whatever its search results. If it's actually a word, then let's take that answer as a word and insert in our result list. If it's a prefix, that means it's worth looking for more. Okay, so TA definitely starts a word. New neighbors is going to be the available neighbors for new selection. And then we're going to try and take that new selection and its new neighbors and get all extensions from there. Try to reuse the first letter. Well, I think, in effect, you do, because we're talking about, you've selected a letter, let's say the first time through, right? You've selected that letter, and now you're looking at the neighbors. So every word in this loop starts with selection.last, or at least, starts with the selection up to selection.last. So I don't think it's a problem. Now, I do feel like, well, I know it crossed my mind when we did it. Like, do I need to pass in the neighbors? Because if I knew the selection, I could just ask the selection for its neighbors, and that's fine. I'm gonna try that as a kind of refactoring. It was the first letter C that was reused. Okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, it goes back to available neighbors, right? I mean, available neighbors is looking at a selection, and no, I mean, this is twisty. This is definitely the worst method in this whole program, and it's well, it's doing the fanciest thing, which is finding all words. This recursive search. So, all right. So I think what I want to do. Well, I'm going to look at the available neighbors again and convince myself that it's right. That's tricky. Okay, where can I extend? It's got to be a neighbor of my last cell for the selection I'm working on, and then only the ones that are open neighbors. I mean, they're neighbors, meaning they're not selected. And that does seem right to me. The only one that's tricky, and this is kind of why like, is there selection? If there's some variable that's the field, like I need to be careful that I'm getting the passed in name and not the field name, you know? So if somehow I reference selection and get the field level one when I already have a passed in thing, that's where it gets screwed up. And it'd be easy to miss one. I mean, although I don't think this can, because selections passed in as an argument should override any other usage. All right. I know I ran tests, but I'll just run tests. I think I touched something. Okay, but what I want to do is pull this neighbors thing out of the list. Okay, and let's make it calculate it by itself. So I think this line is kind of close. Okay, so if you told me the selection, and my step is you want to do this, then walk through the neighbors for selection. Okay, so look up the neighbors available to the selection you gave me and walk through those. Okay, now I don't think anybody's using new neighbors that come in. The neighbors that come in. Okay, and that's, where's the other? This one. All neighbors for selection. I mean, I think it's doing that. So to me, this should pass. I don't think I'm changing anything deep. I'm just kind of twisting it around a little. But I expect it to all pass. Okay, good. All right, now I don't think try all extensions needs this set. Okay, so I'm going to delete it from here. And the caller will no longer pass it. But we'll look at available neighbors for that selection, which will be all locations since it's empty. And then in this one, new neighbors is no longer needed because we're going to calculate it. Now this field is not used, or this variable is not used. Okay. This feels better. Okay, and then, well, we'll call this new neighbors. New neighbors. Okay. I think neighbors is better. Okay, so where can I go for this selection? Let's walk through all those places and try and extend the selection. Okay, my argument is this should be the same. It's always a little tricky with these recursive functions. Now, I think we can also get rid of that in out, which I think might help a little too. Okay, but let's capture this success here. Okay, so remove the neighbors argument from try all extensions. Calculating it at the top of the method instead. Okay, now I know what I'm doing should not change this problem that we saw, but okay, so let's make result the work. Well, no, that's a little tricky because we have to insert in this case and then extend it here. I was hoping I could just return the result, but I think you could. You'd still have to be given it, and then you'd return it. I don't think in out's so bad for that. All right. Now, stuff worked. The test worked. Why did we see this problem, and can we see it again? I don't think I need to enter a word to see it. Out-tongued, non-bonded. That's got a lot of O's and N's. Okay, out-tongued. I didn't know that was a word. Where's my O's? O, U, T, T, O, N, G, U, E, D. Okay, not a problem. Non-bonded. Nonbo. Oh no. Is there another N? This is confusing. Okay. BONDED. I think that has to be there. NDED. So it's got to be this one. So it's either coming from this O or this O. All right, do we have one? Okay, this is the only B. Oh no, he can go BONDED. NONBOND. Okay. Did I get that wrong? Out tongue. Seems rare if it's. I wonder if I got it wrong that before and it was there. Okay. New game. More. Show me. Reposted. Shuttled. Yeah, I mean, I hate to have to make the 20, 5x5 grid and do it that way. Hardcode the letters in the grid when the problem appeared. Okay. I'm guessing the TTLE is in there, yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I guess that was maybe around 2:45. Statuettes. Okay, statuettes has 4 T's. Let's see if it's really got 4 T's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. STATUE TT. Oh. Okay, sorry. Yeah, now I wish I could select. Okay. Who's got STA? It's either this, STA, TUE, TT, ET, STATUETTES, UETT, no, TTES. Okay. ST. Okay, is this one? Well, there's only one U, right? Okay. So I think there's only one A. Okay, ATUETTE. E S. Can I get STA here? I don't know if I can do this by looking at it. I'm surprised. Your variation, Mudshark, of finding the word that's in there is turning out to be pretty challenging for these long words. Okay. I think we only have one U and one A. So ATU. ETTE. But T can go this way too. There's only one T there. Oh, there's this one. ETT. There's just a lot of choices, aren't there? Okay. STA T. No. It's got to be AT next to each other, right? So I think that's the only one of those. STATUE T, no, T maybe, TES. I see statuette. Okay, are there two S's? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry. So can I get... I guess I have to get here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. STATUET. No. UET. TES. Okay. I think it's there. I wonder. Yeah, I guess I got homework. I got to go back through the video and see if we can find that. I was very sure Tsitsi in our test was going to be just like, yeah, of course I found it. It's right here. The only gap is, well, I mean, all this makes sense to me. I'm not saying it's necessarily right, but the thing about locations, right? When you're going to those other locations, let's find that neighbors thing. Oops. It was on selection, right? Selection type. No. Who had that -1 +1 stuff? Oh, location probably. Okay. Yeah, I was worried we didn't map them, do our modulo thing, but it looks like we are. Okay. Well, let's look at this all neighbors just to kind of complete. Okay, so given the wrap size, I want you to find me, for this location, what are its neighbors? And you're going to look in, going up a row and a column. So row -1, column -1, all mod size. Okay. And then let's find that operator. Okay, so we know it can't be less than 0 because if it was less than 0, it would keep adding stuff till it isn't, unless the size was 0. Okay, and then we take mod size. Oh, okay. What was the word was concoction or concoctions or something like that? Okay. I don't think this is a problem. If a positive number modulo size, but let's go look at that size or modulo operator. Okay, 9 mod 4 equals 1. I mean, I think that's okay. Now this one, we took over the negative numbers, so we only are doing it to a positive. I'm okay with that. All right. Go back to location. Okay, -1, -1, -1, 0, -1, +1, 0, -1, 0, +1, -1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, that seems like the right addresses. Do we particularly check all neighbors? No. Let's add a test in location for all neighbors. I think these were probably extracted, and so they're going to be light on tests if we weren't careful. Okay, moves neighbor, has neighbor. Okay. Moves by, I think we'll take right in here at test function. All neighbors has good locations. Maybe positive is probably a better way to say it. Start in the top left corner because that's kind of tricky. And then if we say let result equals dot all neighbors wrapping by size 4. Okay, there's only one C, so there's no way. Thank you for doing this research. So there's only one C, so there is no way, and there's only one O. Okay, so he had to reuse them to get them. He might have squeaked in with the ends. Okay, so this was a definite problem. Okay, let me finish this test and then we'll make it. Yeah, 1N, 1C. TIO. So the N got reused twice. The C got in there 3 times. Two O's? Oh, N's. Oh, yeah. Okay. That one might be okay, but there is only 1 C and 1 O, so that's definitely a problem. All right. Let's expect set. Well, what is all neighbors? Is it a set? Yeah. Okay. Result equals. Okay, so 0, 0 goes up 1 left. That's to the equivalent of 3. Okay, so you should have 3. 3. 3. 0. 3, 1. I don't know what that is. Okay. 0 is, sorry, it's row column. Okay, so if it goes up from 0, it's -1, which add 4 is 3. Then we're in 0, row 0, column 3. We skip our cells, so we don't do location 0, 0, but location 0, 1 should be there. And then 1, 3, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Okay. Missing. Yeah, that's not good. Trailing. Multi-line collection will have trailing commas. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe today's the day to put that in. Something to let you fill in the grid that way. Okay, that test passes. That's good. All right. Okay, so we're going to test a game. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm putting them in as individual quotes. Ugh. Okay. There is a way to do it. I know I've done it before. I think I've done it in here, right? It's like, well, it's not going to find concoction if it's not there. We know that. I mean, if the letters for it aren't there. Where did I do this? I thought it was in this somewhere. Word loader. No. All right, let's make one. Okay, so a little helper function. Function file private function split. Yeah, I definitely want to just do that. See now, suggested something reasonable and then switched over to something unreasonable. Okay, so this should be an array of string. Well, if I took one big long string, if I do input array of string, okay, I'm going to take the input, I'm going to map it. No. Oh, array of, okay. Map to array of string. Okay. Let result equal. Let's see what we got. Should be an array of strings. Now, is that characters? I just want a flat map. I think I do it like that. And now I should have an array of string.element, and then I want to map each one of those. Map to string of $0. Okay. Expect, oh, that's a function. kind of convoluted, but okay, good. Okay, so we're doing a 5x5 board, and we're going to do a split of, and let's get the ones you pulled up. CONE should be in there. And let's put this in vocabulary, concoction. If I can spell it. Okay, so it could find it, but it shouldn't. Okay, where's my comma that it wants? Okay, 5-letter game. That board. Cone is in there. CONE. Concoction should not be in there. All right, let's see what happens. He passes. Okay. I don't know what to think. What else is... Well, let's put concoct. Yeah, we have video proof. All right, we're due for a break. Let's take a break. I don't know what to do at this point to pursue this, but 3 or 4 minutes, and that'll give us an idea, right? See you then. All right, welcome back. Prompt production replace the random letter with return / code letters. Okay. I have made some changes. I don't think any of them should have affected it, but it's possible. All right. Replace the random letter generator with one that returns hard-coded letters. All right. And I think we find that from the app. wherever that got off to. Okay. Game maker. Okay. So candidates. Right. We want to do a different game maker. I think we just have to be a sequence. All right, let's do a little experiment. Yeah, I'm just going to hard code it. And I'm going to be okay. IUHHS NKBHA JEEUCNZEI ROBKT. I don't think we can do new game with this, but we can at least run this. Does that look right? IUHHS NKBHA JEEUCNZEI ROBKT. Okay. Now, found words. Show me. Oh, man. It's gone. Oh, do I need to go back? Make sure all our tests are going to pass because I just mutilated one little method. Okay. Well, that's add the open to the filter. Okay, we can do that. But I don't see, well, my theory is it shouldn't matter, but you know, I believe it was like that, right? With one of them being open. And I can run the test with that too. Stinkhorn. Well, I don't think that's the problem. At least if it was, it's not the only problem if it was a problem. The other thing I did was the passing the neighbors in, and maybe that is, but I mean I did put in the tsetse thing, the test with the cze tsetse in the vocabulary before doing this. I thought. It's tricky with these recursive ones because you're trying to kind of think through what's in the next iteration and stuff like that. But I do think this is more clear. It says extend this selection any way you can, and you might get a word, which is good, and keep it. And if you don't, but you can still extend it further, keep doing that. I am going to do... No, I'm not. I was going to put some statisticky kind of things and count how many words came in on available neighbors. Dot count is 0, print 0. It should eventually get down to 0 available neighbors. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I touched several things, but none of them struck me as likely to be the cause of that. I'll do this with the production. I mean, I think we're going to see a bunch of zeros, like 150,000 of them. Because at some point you should run out of open neighbors. You know, you've selected the whole board. You can't select anything else. Okay. And during these 2 seconds, he's trying to generate all the values. He should start printing. Now, is he never going to do it? There's also something about the print, like it doesn't seem to be, I don't know if it's kind of synchronous or asynchronous or something. It likes to wait until it gets something, I think. But now we've paused. Okay, we haven't run this yet. Okay, this should trigger it. Wow, that was fast. It never happened. What? I mean, it's possible, but let's look at this board. STINKHORN. I guess it's all around the corner there. STINKHORN. I guess the only time it's 0 is if you've really kind of worked yourself into a corner. But even with this fairly long word, I mean, you always have neighbors open. Right. I guess that's not going to happen very much. Okay, let me put things back. Okay, we got the filter down to that one. I'm going to put the app back. I don't... I don't know how much I want to fight this or not. If it seems to be working, I'm happy. Let's see what these words are. I mean, that's 2, 3. He's got a fair bit of words. Yeah. I don't know what would have changed it. I mean, I was very sure when I put TZED in there that it was going to find that word tsetse. And I was even more sure when we put in all those, JEEU and all that stuff. I was very sure it was going to find it. I'm kind of surprised. I guess it's a thing for me to work on, just validate a little bit while I'm doing it. Yeah, I don't think I want to go crazy far on this. Okay, this is Tuesday. All right. I don't feel like we ever saw it replicated in a test, which is really unfortunate. I think we have a couple of guard tests for it now, but I'm not sure what would trigger it again. The only thing I could do is I could go back, 5 or 10 check-ins here and I guess repeat what I just did to put those in the game generator and then hope that it did it again. But I think given we're not seeing it and the test is kind of guarding against it, if it was going to happen, I think we'll let it go. It must have been something about passing that selection. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the only big change I made. I did little tweaky bits and dabs, I think, but that was the only significant one. I mean, maybe should I go back to that and just see? Let me try. This is Betwist. Now I want the history. Okay, so I'll take the last commit from here. Can I get the whole thing? Okay, so we changed open neighbors. Well, I'm just going to take this far. Whoops. All right, game. And I will comment these three. There's just that little extra bit of diligence that we have. Okay, that should be what we had before. Can I go back in here and undo? Yes. Okay, so I believe that's what we started with today. Neighbors coming in. Let's make sure this one, yeah. All answers passed in, or all extensions passed in. Now it's all the answers. Open neighbors of selection. Okay. Let's see if a test passes. I mean, number of available neighbors. Okay, I'm going to hide these. I believe we added them today too. Okay. I mean, finding the system where it's, I don't think has any dependency on the words we've found, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Let's see. Well, that's not good. Let's see what we get on the run. IUHHS, NKB high, JEU, CNZ high. Yeah, that all looks good. So, no. Yeah, I don't know. But I think we've given it as much diligence as I'm willing to give for today. And we'll pay attention, and if it, check in once in a while. Okay, these are the ones I copied. These are the ones I have today. Put back the, what's it, A game? Yeah. Okay, undo these. I still have the app with the old one. Yeah, I'm just not able to come up with any theory on how this went off today. I don't know why these tests are so slow. I also don't know what's going on with this error thing. Why are you complaining? Unused parameter in a closure should be replaced with, oh, I could switch on new. I don't know whether the Xcode editor's falling apart on the job here. I should have restarted Xcode on the break. Okay, that all looks back to normal. Let's take this out. Run this. no test call the app, so I'm not too worried there. Jetty. Nice slice. No, study. Fine. Okay. Show me asymptotical. Come on. ASYMPTOT. ASAIMP. This is the only P. That's the only T next to it. That's the only O. S. Okay, it's got to be here. ASYMP. This is my T, right? Oh, TOT. Okay, yeah. And that's this one, ICAL. Okay, that's legit. I guess I want to find ones that seem like they repeat too many letters too many times, right? But I don't see anything even that has more than a couple of anything. And there are two L's, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say for now, yeah. For letters being reused in generating all words. Saw it live once, but haven't reproduced. Okay. Okay. We couldn't reproduce, so we made changes to word finding. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's disappointing. Well, it's not disappointing. It seems to be gone, but yeah, that was just strange. That's a good way to put it. Okay, we have a few minutes. The next one on my list was the iPad, and let's see. We can reproduce this when we run. If we pick a different thing, iPad 10th generation. All right, and what we're seeing is because we take our grid and we repeat it 9 times on a phone, or 3 by 3 on a phone. What is that? 15 letters across doesn't fit on the screen. On an iPad, it's like no problem. 15 letters. I got lots of room. Where's he putting him? Okay. Let's move this over here. But the iPad has so much room, it goes beyond the 9, the 15 by 15 sort of generated board, pseudo board. And when it gets to the edges, it starts acting wonky. At least that's what we saw back a couple weeks ago or something when we first tried it. And then one of my users, one of my brothers, did try it on iPad and saw weird stuff, and he didn't know what to think. Yeah, that's not as gorgeous as I could like. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but it's not going to the edges like it does on the phone. And so I think scrolling, yeah, I'm dragging horizontally and it's doing that. Whereas, let's see if I can run it on the phone. Dragging horizontally doesn't seem to know, there's no blank space or anything. Whereas this one shifts the blank space around until it runs out, and then can make the letterboxes bigger. Well, if I did, I'd run out of room on the bottom of the board. I mean, this is already too tight in my opinion. Now I don't know why it's now. However, let me try a different iPad. There are several on my simulator list. Let's do the 13-inch M4. Make it run faster, right? Okay. I don't know if we could put some sort of bounding box on it to keep it from the scrolling. My stupid solution is put it in a 5x5 board grid instead of a 3x3, and I'm completely sure that will be enough because it barely fits the 3x3. I mean, it won't fit 5x5. It couldn't even fit 4x4, at least on this one. We'll see what this other one does if it ever comes up. Okay. Let me do a rotate on this. Increase the boxes containing the letters. Don't change the size of the grid. Well, I mean, we certainly could. Oh, yeah, this is definitely problematical. Well, my fear is if I well, let me go back again. If I do that, right, if I made them so that they stretched across and down as a square, well, that would be a step. I don't think it's a bad step. If this were big enough, I mean, this is annoying being trimmed off on the bottom here. And where is my other? Maybe I didn't hit run. No, I guess I didn't. Yeah, disable landscape mode would at least solve the problem of everything squishing off the bottom of the screen. And here it's not a problem because, oh no, can't say that. Well, that sounds like good advice for any of it. Hey, come on, where's your normal? There it is. Generate try button. Oh yeah, shoot. Yeah, I didn't do that on my production ship to Tux last night. Okay, yeah, let me add that. That's a must do. Disable try generation button. Okay, thank you. That would get us a little space back. But we can control the allowable rotations. Right, somewhere we can say portrait's good, no landscape. I thought I tried landscape on the phone and it was okay, but maybe not. I wonder if that'll do something. Okay. We're going to run it last? No. I want to experiment until we find that one. Okay, now he's getting bigger. He definitely would use 4. Well, I think he would use 4. It's getting right up to the edge. That much. I mean, it's close. And if you put that extra bit of wrap in, it might be enough to do it. Now, interestingly, I can't get to the edges with this one. That's as close as I get. All right, but I think if I put the 5x5... Oh, how weird. Oh, it goes that far. I think maybe at one point I was thinking I would create a mode that worked side to side. Well, this is interesting because it gives the phone almost the same problem, doesn't it? But, yeah, I was thinking of making a mode or a view, put the grid over here, and then put the generate try buttons and the rest there. Yeah, okay, so this theory is not... Whoops. Okay, that one's okay. Yeah, I thought it would lay out right for some reason, but that's weird thinking. Okay, well, that was infinite grid, I believe. Infinite grid. Okay. And then let max grids equal 3 for now, and we're going to use it. Hey, my thing started working again. Max grids. Let's change this to 5. Oh, and where's my maker thing? Is that in content view? Huh. Oh. Well, there's good news and bad news. No, I don't think so. Well, there's... No, I don't think there's a problem. You're only ever seeing the ones that you can see. You're seeing the central one and any around the edges. But let's switch to running the other one. I'm beginning to think my layout is just flat out not going to work on iPad. And run. Oh, pick the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, I mean that might look nice. Yeah, I mean it's kind of a totally different layout. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have an intuition for what. I mean, it would work great in horizontal mode, right? Would be kind of nice. That's this will. I mean, that doesn't look so good, but am I just not right side up? Oh, that's always there. Okay. Only in landscape. Yeah, I mean, we could restrict you to, you know, I mean, the phone only has like this much, a couple letters on the outside. And we could give 2/3 of the screen to this. Well, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it. Maybe landscape mode would be better in that sense. I mean, this part doesn't fit very well with it. But yeah, I think you could. I think put the grid on one side and put the list of stuff on the other side. I'm not sure. I guess this would still sit over top of the grid. Unfortunately, I mean, it would be nice to have something that just took over. I mean, this stuff could be bubbles or something, but okay. So let's make sure this is still good. Annoy, I see that. Oops, am I still? Oh, no, something screwed up. Oh, there it is. Okay. I gotta go at least 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, I've gone 5. So I've definitely reached out past the edge of the grid, and I don't see it. I don't think the performance is noticeably worse or anything. I mean, it's replicating 5 copies or 25 copies, but there's only actually one grid object. Score and found words to either side of the input box. Yeah, maybe so. I mean, if it was the generate try here and then the score here and the found words here, I don't need to show the 3 best or the 3 latest. I could show the whole list of the ones from that action thing and then have another button to take you to new game or something. I don't know, maybe new game is I don't know. Maybe new game should not be new game. Maybe he should be show answers, and then he turns into new game after show answers is up, and put the state there, the triple state there. Yeah, I think that would be an improvement. This is 3x3. Oh, does this one have the 5x5? Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, he's giving me infinite scrolling, but yeah, I think the score up here would be fine. And then maybe it's just found words as a button, and that takes you over. Maybe you don't need to see the last ones you entered. That could look good. Hmm. Yeah, so maybe I should have a state that's this button doing that. I don't know. So what I'm imagining is you would click this and it give up or something, uh, it would show a pop-up of all the system words, and maybe when you close that, this says new game, but you wouldn't have a way to get back to those system words again. Or maybe there's a button for your words and one for system words that only shows up after you click I give up. And maybe it defaults to show that, and then you could still click it again if you wanted to, something like that. Okay. Well, I think that gives us some answers. Let's take the notes on it. Okay. So what we did for iPad, we made infinite grid bigger, so it works on iPad. We turned off device rotation as landscape doesn't look good. Okay, and I think that covers that. The sort of, well, the idea is, so one idea is allow landscape mode by putting score and current header and score above the grid, and your words to the right. Another idea is make new game I guess this is change end of game, new game button starts, show system words, end game. Maybe it should just be end game. End game shows system words, maybe activates a button for that too, and changes the button to new game to generate new grid. Okay, whoops, sorry. Right, and then I think on iPad this has to happen regardless, right? I mean, this looks goofy over here or down here, cut off. So it's header score. No, header and score above the grid. And then we're going to just show found words. Then the grid's going to be smaller. I don't know. It only works in landscape. Well, we'll just have to work that through, I think. But we certainly could show this stuff in the top, because that base is wasted for nothing. Okay. And then what was this one looking like? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think we have some ideas, and maybe that will all work it out. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. I mean, we've spent a lot of time on what apparently is no longer a problem, but was at some point for some reason. I just don't know. We've got a better approach to end of game. I think we can do even better. We'll see how the week goes. I've got 2 more days this week. I really do want to explore the letter generation thing. So I want to get iPad good enough for now, and then do the letter generation. And if we have time, come back to the game over or to some of the ideas we have for iPad. All right. Well, thanks for joining today. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 Eastern Time, 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. And thanks again. Good night.